So in back bends, the physical body responds also to the emotional body, meaning our muscles and our joints respond to how we feel. For example, if you just crossed the finish line after you spent 2 years training for this race and you did really well, what is your body going to do?
Collapse.
Maybe. You're thrilled. You're super excited. You just crossed the finish line. You're like, yes, I've been training. You're saying yes in your head. Does your body, yes, thank you. Your body goes, you've seen it a number of times as people cross the finish line. Maybe it's, if you're doing a 25-mile marathon, different story. But you just crossed the finish line. Ah, yes, I did it. I did well. Your body goes into Urdhva Dhanurasana on your feet. Right? Now, this happened to me once as I was teaching yoga, it was interesting. Somebody perceives a threat. Let's pretend it's you for now. You're a wonderful person, I don't hate you at all, you're lovely. But pretend like I just threatened you. And I go like this. Yes, good. Yes, the body preserves itself. It protects itself. It says, I want to stay safe. It protects its vital organs. It protects the face. It protects everything that keeps you alive. And that is either going to be fight, or if I don't believe I'm going to win, I'm going to run. Either way, the body is contracted, the psoas muscle is contracted, the pectoral muscle is contracted, the front abdominal is contracted. This is the exact opposite shape of Urdhva Dhanurasana. Okay, so not Urdhva Dhanurasana. Yes, Urdhva Dhanurasana. So now, emotionally, which state of mind would behoove you, benefit you, if you're about to enter in a back bend?
The ones that already like it.
Yes. So those of you that already like back bends are going to get better at back bends. Because you go, I love back bends, and your body then goes, back bend! And those of you that hate back bends is the last time or 10 years or whatever, you had pain in your back. So now you're going to go into the protective, and you're going to get more pain and too much stability, not enough mobility where mobility is needed. So you'll be completely in the balancing action and not at all in the fundamental action, whatever creates the shape. So the question is, if you are to dive into a back bend practice, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel?
Good.
Great. I want to feel amazing. I want to feel like I just crossed the finish line. I want to feel good. I want to feel free. I want to feel light. I want to feel full of breath. I want to feel focused. What's your thing? I don't know. Each of you have something that you want to feel. That's why you come to the yoga practice. No one said, I'm going to come into yoga and feel like ready to fight or run. You might feel that way, but that's not what you're looking for, right? You might feel that way when you walk in, but it's not necessarily the ultimate desire within you to feel like shit, right? So we have to set the intention that I want to feel good, because logically, it makes sense to get into a back bend from that place of feeling good. But I also want to feel good. So there's that too. I just want to feel good, and I know I'm doing back bends, so I want to feel good. So here's how you're going to do this. Before you go into the pose, breathe. Set the intention. I want to feel good. I want to have an opening. I want to have a revelation, something new today. I might have had 10 years of shitty back bends, but today, I want to feel good. I'm going to look for it. Forget it. I'm just going to Get into that place of the desire to feel good. I don't mean jump off the cliff without a parachute. I mean walk to the edge, look over and breathe at the edge and say, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. And slowly put one strap of the parachute on your back and the other one. And maybe today is jumping. Maybe today is just looking. Okay? Please come to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. With desire to feel good. Oh, stretch the legs. If you like to move, move. If you're an earth person, stay still. Yes. Take your right leg to the sky, inhale. Bend the knees, sorry about that. Open the hip, exhale, and hold here. Breathe into your right rib cage. Straighten the legs, square the hip. Excuse me. Step the right foot forward as you exhale. Okay. Come up onto your fingertips, take a breath. Take your left hand over to the left on your neighbor's yoga mat. Okay. With your left hand over to the left, lean over so that your body weight is in your left hand and your chest faces the front of the room. Chest faces over here. Good. Okay, now pull your legs toward each other and press your right heel down to activate your buttocks. With your right heel pressing down into the ground, your hips will lift. That's it. Keep pressing the heel down, and from that lift, pull the belly towards your heart until you curl back. Very good. Take your right hand behind your head and press your head back into your hand. Let's take a breath together here. Lift the hips a little higher. Yes, curl back a little bit more. Reach the arm over your ear for the last breath. Reach to your fingertips. Remember this shape. Exhale, come back, hands to the ground. Step to plank pose, inhale. Lower all the way to the ground as you exhale. 3 little cobras to warm up the spine, lift the heart. Exhale, back down. Lift the heart on the inhale. And exhale, release. 1 more. Press to all fours, hands and knees. Form hands and knees, faithful twist down position. Form a gentle arch in the low back. So right, and hip and that hands lift the heart up a little bit. Suction the belly button towards your heart. Now take your right heel to the sky. Bend the knee boy. Flex the foot. Now like Jane Fonda. Thank you, yes. Give me a higher love. Press. Find your right butt muscles. Your upper butt. Kick into my hand. And kick. Good. And release the knee down. Very nice. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Observe your right butt, left butt. How's your butts? Let's take the left leg to the sky on the inhale. Bend the knee, open hip. Breathe into the left side body. Straighten the leg on the in breath. Step left foot forward as you exhale. Right hand to the right. Lean over into your hand. Place your left hand first to your knee and move the heart to face the front of the room. Pull your 2 feet toward each other and press your left heel down into the ground until your hips lift and your left glutes fire up a little bit. Now curl the heart back slightly and bring the left hand behind the head to start. Okay, press your head back and your hand open the chest. Suck or vacuum your abdominal muscles towards your heart. Like your heart has a pulling mechanism and it's pulling the abdominals upward. Then reach the left arm over your ear. Good. Hands to the ground, release. Remember that shape, please. Come back to downward facing dog. Shift forward, not plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Slide the fingers wide. To the degree that feels good to you, come up to Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. To the degree that feels good. That might be very little. So we want to cultivate a feeling of goodness in our body. That means listening and going slow. Lift your belly to your heart, your skull up to the sky. One more breath. And then release down, let go. Press to all fours or plank. Actually, all fours, please. Press to all fours. Bend the left knee and kick the sky with your left heel. You heard me talk about the outer hip muscles in the previous moments. Squeeze your outer standing hip in slightly and kick your inner heel to the sky. Yes, inner. Awesome. Yeah, Jane Fonda. A little bit higher now. Yeah. Can you feel your left glute muscles yet or no? If not, let me know. And I'll put my hand on your heel so you do feel your butt. That's it. That's it. Yes. Inner heel. Yes. Good. Release the knee to the ground. Harapsham Devum Pitashum. Big breath in together. Exhale out. Let's take the right leg to the sky. Inhale. Step forward as you exhale. Place your left hand over to the left onto your neighbor's mat or the wood and lean over into your hand. Okay, so this is going to be more movement based. I'd like for you to gather strength in the legs. We're going to go 5 rounds, so that means the first round very chill, and increase the intensity as you go along. Of course, the desire to feel good is prominent. Okay, watch me one time. I go inhale and open it up just mildly, and then exhale, I kind of fall back to the sea. And then like a wave, I rise up, and I go deeper, maybe the second time, and I fall back to the sea. So 5 times altogether. Afterwards, you go to down dog. Breathe into the sides of the body. Curl back. Pull your belly to your heart. The last one, desire to feel good. Reach it. When you're done, you come to down dog. Take a breath, feel what you've created so far. Left leg to the sky on the next inhalation. Bend knee, open hip. I don't remember if I did that, sorry. Yeah, straighten the legs, square the hip. I don't think I did that. Step the left foot forward. Take your right hand over to the right onto the wood. And set up the shape to start. Okay, before you start moving, the idea is curl back like a back bend, not a twist. So lean back towards your neighbor. Okay? You can take your hand parallel to the ground trace the horizon line. Okay, and then on the inhales, you open and peel your heart. Remember the desire to feel good before you even go into the stretch of it. The desire to feel good. Yeah, you might have to move with your neighbor a little bit there. Each time, just a little more deep, not drastic. Hips up, strong legs, belly towards heart. Like you're stretching in the morning. Ah, it's good to be alive. I'll need downward dog. It is good to be alive, isn't it? Yeah. It's good to be alive. Every posture embodies that experience. Ah, it's good to be alive, including down dog. Ah, good to be awake with all of these people. I can smell you and feel you. Be together with our breath. Take the right leg to the sky on the inhale. Step the right foot forward as you exhale. Rise up high, lunge, inhale. Pause, take your hands on your front knee. Lean your body weight forward more, lift your back heel. Don't rest on your front thigh, but just lean your body weight a little bit to the front leg. Now, from your right sit bone, if you don't know where that is, take your right hand to the base of your buttocks. There's a bone there where your hamstrings and your glutes attach. It's underneath there. Yes, there you go. Okay. Now move your right sit bone from your sit bone, move it under the pose more like you're tucking your tail, and press down into your heel until your hips lift as a result. And you'll feel your glute muscles engage. Tell me if you feel that.
Yes.
Yes, good. If you don't feel that, pulse like you're going to jump off your feet and push into your heel until you feel your buttocks tones up. And if you have glute amnesia, it's okay. Take your arms up to the sky like, oh, it's a good day to be alive. My butt is strong. My abdominals somehow have a vacuum in them and lift up your heart a little bit in the front side. Now try this with me. Everybody, turn your palms to the front of the room like you're saying, like, I just won the race, right? And then take your shoulders up to your ears, up, up, up. And then just take your fingertips back, lift your heart up, heart up, heart up. Good, hands to the ground and release. Remember that shape. Come back to downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky on the inhale. Step na corner, and hands on front knee. Okay, so the glute muscles in the front hip are the muscles that lift you up away from the ground and make your body and your nervous system say, hey, I'm stable, I'm safe, I'm safe. I can now explore the edge of my comfort zone once I feel safe. So find your glutes to feel grounded, connected to safety, stability. Your left buttock bone, your sit bone, curls under a little bit and presses down into the heel. Once you find your left glute muscles active, and if you haven't, then pulse a little bit and try to push into the heel. And once you feel your glute muscles active, go, okay, cool, stability. Thank you, arms out. Now we're going to do something just slightly different because there are so many muscles that help the shoulders in this position. You're going to bend your elbows in a cactus shape. Let's find the rhomboids. First, protract your shoulder blades. This is not the rhomboids. Then, retract the scapula like you're opening your heart. Yes, and then close it a little bit. And then peel open the front of your chest and try to stretch your pectorals. One more time. Is your glute muscle still activated? Open it up. Stay strong in your glutes. Now, with your shoulders back, reach up, but not just up, back, like you're going, hooray! The best day of my life! And take a big breath and lift the belly, lift the heart up. Good. Hands to the ground. Well done. Leg pose. Inhale. Chaturanga. Slide your hands wide for Bhujangasana, like a gecko style. Your fingertips come onto the ground. And slither your upper body away from your hips. Forward to the front of the room. Sides of the body, long. Stretch. Pull, 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 pull. Then lift all the way to the top. Vacuum your belly. Knock your nose. And then release back down. Head up, Shanda, and down. Take a breath. Right leg to the sky. Step right foot forward. Push into your heel, leg muscle. Rise up, high lunge. Okay. I'll give you a little hint here. A lot of people have back issues with back bends because of their relationship to gravity. If you fall back with your upper body, it will compress the spine. If you move your belly and low back forward, so press your belly forward, like I said earlier about those Anusarios, they're very good at back bending. You can just mimic them if you know one. Just move your ribs forward, move your low back forward, stick your belly like, hey, no worries, more. There you go, good. Now, not just like that, because that's just compression. So just lift your abdomen up. That's it. Now take your arms up. And imagine you're climbing the coolest mountain ever. And you really do want to get to the top, because up there is something amazing. You're going to take your right and left arm up, hold until you feel a stretch in your belly. Don't lower that side. Take the other side up until you feel a stretch in that side. And then go up even higher. Up until your belly stretches even more. And then up. Yes, and a little bit higher. Go this is a little taller. So now you're having to breathe in your upper back. Breathe into the sides of your ribs. Breathe into your heart. Reach up, up, up. Now, just take your fingertips back like you want to feel good. Yes, and then it's the ground. Okay. Step plank pose. What just happened? Lower all the way to the ground. Slide your hands out to the sides. Now, before you do Bhujangasana this way, just like you just did, pull, lengthen the right side, the left side, the right side, the left side, like you're literally trying to decompress and pull your spine away from your pelvis. Imagine you're a fish and someone's pulling your whole spine from your head to the front of the room. That's exciting. Now lift your heart up. It's a great image. Yes. Oop. And then, like, you can pull your whole spine up to the sky. Your belly lifts. Okay? And then release down. So nice. Press to all fours. Adho Svanasana, downward facing. Slow breath in together. Long breath up. Left leg to the sky. Step forward as you exhale. Press down. Use your glute muscles to get stable and rise up. Stability to rise. Lift up tall. Once you're up here, your left heel presses down from your left buttocks. Push into your heel, not sink down. I would move your hips lower. Press down so your hips go higher. So you feel safer, step, more stable, easier. You're like, why am I going up here? It's easy. Good. Now, start to climb. Lift, yes. Don't let the side lower. Once you climb, keep going higher. Higher and higher. Lift up your belly. Get up tall until you feel your transverse abdominal muscles start to hug your spine. And you feel like, ooh, that's an interesting sensation. Up, not just with your shoulders, but your ribs, your belly, everything up. Then, once you're as high up as you possibly can be, just take your shoulders up, your fingertips back. Just your fingertips. Just your fingers. Good. And lean forward with your torso, hands to the ground. Brilliant. Step to plank pose. Place your knees down onto the ground. Take your right foot outside of your right hand. Right foot outside of your right hand. Take your left hand to the left. The same shape you were in earlier. Lean over into your left hand, but with your knee on the ground. Great. Now, without doing anything else, bend your left knee. Good. Yeah, without doing anything else. Flex your left foot. Good. Hold. This is a fundamental action of a thigh stretch, which is to engage the hamstrings. Now, grab your foot. Now do a balancing action. Kick your foot back into your hand until your quadriceps activate to do the facilitated stretch of the quads. Now, in addition, let's facilitate the hip flexors by pulling your knees toward each other and sticking your left hip a little to the sky until it softens. And then when you feel your hip flexor in the front left thigh get stronger or softer, curl your belly back and take your head back. Yes, pull your belly, sides of the body long. Yes. Now where are you breathing? Can you breathe in your upper sides of your ribs, in your heart, underneath your armpits, belly up towards your heart, your back, and not tuck your tail. It's a different story. Watch me. Yes, yes, good. Okay, then slowly release your thigh stretch. Well done. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Full breath in. Full breath out. Place your knees to the ground. Left foot outside of left hand. Right hand to the right. Lean over into your right hand. Take a breath. Hips forward, not forward, then lift it. Forward, forward, forward. Lift it. And now bend your back knee, flex the foot, and that's it. Hold. Let your hamstrings have a moment to find integrity, strength. Breathe. Don't think too much here, just breathe. And now with your left hand, grab for your foot. Walk your right hand to the right a little bit more. Facilitate the stretch of your quads by kicking your foot into your hand. So again, the Golgi tendon organ says, oh, there's tension on this muscle. And the brain says, hey, release that tension. But it takes about 8 seconds at least for that to work. Micro lift your right inner thigh up, like you're sticking your right butt up, and pull your back knee towards the front foot. That will facilitate the hip flexors. Now with all that strength in your legs, kicking back and squeezing in, let the upper body be free. I want to feel good. Lengthen the belly. Curl the heart back. Like this is the best day of my life. I've been waiting for this stretch all day. I had this sequencing. I don't know what fundamental stretches, but I'm glad I'm in one. And I'm glad I'm also balancing the stretch. Breathe. Okay, anyways, like a step back into downward facing dog. Let's take a full breath in together. Exhale the breath out. We'll do one more for good measure. Bring the knees to the ground. Bring your right leg to the sky behind you. Kick the heel upward like you're doing Jane Fonda, and then pause for a moment. Yes. Use your left hand to grab the back foot. So opposite hand to the foot. If possible, walk your arm over so that the palm is thumb up and your shoulder can open up more in the pectorals. Great. Now, 2 muscles I'd like you to activate to make this easier. Your quads of your back leg. Kick your foot into your hand, and your buttocks of your back leg. Kick the heel to the sky. So quad into the hand, kicks the foot into the hand, heel up to the sky to lift the back knee. back and up, big breath into the chest. One more. Brilliant, and release, slow. A little tidbit, your standing hip, which is the knee that's on the ground, if you squeeze it in, it'll open the hips a little bit, but allow you to access all the other muscles more. So just squeeze your standing hip in a little bit. So try not to get caught up in this, feeling like you're like here, you know, squeeze the hip in and open. All right, other side. I don't know which side. Left leg. Right hand reaches for the foot. If you can, grab so that your thumb faces up. Yeah. And I would look forward for balance purposes and for lifting up the chest away from the ground. Okay. So the actions, kick your foot back and up. You got to ask yourself, you want this to feel good. How do you want to feel? And with your breath, begin to form the pose that is an example of what you want to feel. Lift the heart, lift the eyes, lift the leg. Good, and then release down, slow, and controlled. Tuck the toes coming down. If you're coming to the conference and you plan to come to my backbends class, I'm going to do something called the wave in that class, which is kind of like what you did in that first opening moment where you curled back 5 times. I call it the wave. You're not going to find out on Google, by the way. So it's made up. We're going to try this wave in reverse warrior. So please take your right leg between your hands. Come up to warrior 2. It's kind of like you ever practice some sort of shibari kind of thing, but with a little bit more, less fluidity, more intention. So you're going to watch this. I'm going to do it for a second with my energetic pulling. So the first step is forward. Second step is you're climbing the ladder with the right ribs and arms. So you need to reach up as high as you can go and try to grab something that's just so far up there that your belly lifts and the right side of your body stretches just from lifting. Can you feel the stretch? Good. Last part of the wave, or of this position, is take your arm back. Yeah. Good. Yeah, not sure. I didn't say anything about your arm back. Just go. Good. And then come back. Okay, so it looks like this. Real quickly, I'll do it. You can pause. Rather than this, this is compressing the spine. It looks the same, sort of, as this, but it is not. It's the elasticity of the body that we're aiming for, and not the gravitational. Gravity's really good at what it does, so you don't have to encourage it by saying, come on, gravity. Good job, gravity. You're pulling me down. It's so good. Thank you. Okay, but instead, forward, up, back. Okay? Cool. So, 5 times. Forward. Yes. Up, like you're reaching for something. Reach for it. Hand back. Yes, good. Forward. Up. Reach for it. Back. Release. Forward. Up. Suck your abdomen up. Keep going. On your own speed. Up. Remember the up. Press your chest to the sky. Yes. Yes, that's the elasticity. There it is. It's amazing. Okay, it's so good. Okay, you just hands to the hips, straighten the right leg. That was pretty great. Thank you. Switch to the back of the room. Let me know if you did not feel good and you want my support. I'll come by. Okay, here we go. On your own time, climb that amazing, amazing journey up to the mountain. Oh, it's beautiful up there. Yes. I want to feel good. And let that come through your breath. Yes, that's the shape. That's the experience. Lift it up. And keep leaning forward with your ribs. Up, up, up. Yes, up, up, up. Good, come back. Okay, when you're done, straighten the front leg. Well done. Pivot to the front of the room, please. Just pivot, sorry. Right foot forward. Bend your right knee. Interlace your hands behind your back. Bend your elbows, bend your elbows. Step 1, shoulders up. Step 2, shoulders back. Can we do that? Cool. Step 3, reach your hands back behind you. Yes, good. Bow to the inside of your right leg, keeping your hands reaching back. Opening your beautiful heart center. Inhale, rise all the way up. Good. Switch it to the back of the room. Other pinky on the outside, so other fingers interlace. Again, slide the hands to the low back. Step 1, shoulders up. Step 2, shoulders back, elbows toward each other. Step 3, reach back. Reach into your hands. Bow to the inside of the left leg. Rise all the way up. Take your hands behind your back still, other finger on the outside, pivot to the front of the room. Let's do that really fun shape that we were talking about on the board earlier. You're going to bend your right knee, bend your left knee, kick your left heel to the sky, press your hands to the sky, and somehow in this shape, wiggle, 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 so your transverse abdominals turn on and you feel your belly stretch. While you're in the shape, sorry. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Chest up, back bend, back bend, back bend. Keep going, yes, yes, yes. Step the left foot to the ground. That was cool. Flip to the back side of the room. Other pinky on the outside. Get stoked. This is the best moment of our lives together. Lift the shoulders up. Take a breath. Shoulders up, back, and hands back. Go for it. Bend the left knee. Left heel kicks to the sky. Finding your buttock muscles. Use your breath to get lighter, more lifted. That's it. Use the willpower of your mind that says, you know what, it might be challenging, but it's a good thing I'm alive. And there's breath flowing through my body. And I've got enough strength to be here. And I want to feel good. Come on up. Okay. To the front of the room, step. How are we doing? Take your hands, interlace them up top. Squeeze your head a little bit with your arms until you feel your tricep muscles turn on, and then together. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hey! Until you've got like this really interesting cave in your abdomen. Now, move your hips to your left. You can move your foot out to the side like mine if you'd like, and side bend over. Now, when you do that, you're going to feel the desire to kind of collapse in your right side. Lift your left ribs up. That's it. Pick your belly up. Lift the side of your body up, almost until your feet feel like they come up onto the tippy toes. And then come back to center. Good. Release the hands behind your back. Slide them to the low back. Step 1, up. Step 2, back. Step 3, reach back. How do you want to feel? Yeah, I love it. Okay, this is good. Okay, and then release the hands. Good, I want to feel good. All right, raise the hands up to the sky. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, that's it. Until you feel your belly stretch. Now, hips go the other way. Fingers go the other way. Lift your right ribs up. Lift your right ribs up. Or whatever other way you run. Reach through your fingertips. Reach all the way through your arms. All the way. All the energy. Oops, sorry. And come back to center. Hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Shoulders up to the ears. 1. Shoulders back. 2. Reach back. 3. Hold. Try to imagine you could touch the back of the room with your hands. Reach your hands behind you. Imagine you're pushing somebody but backwards. Like, how hard is it? Reach. Good. Release the hands. Very cool. Inhale, reach the arms up. Climb up on the left side, up on the right side. Get as tall as you can. Maybe your heels lift because you're just so light in your rib cage. Your belly cinches inward and upward. Now, move your hips forward, your low back forward. Your hips and low back forward. Your heels on the ground now. Hips and low back too. Upper back forward. Heart up, up, up. Forward. Don't go back. Up, up, up. Only thing that goes back, fingers back, fingers back. Heart forward, chest up. Good, and release, come back. Let me show you that real quick, okay? I can make it hurt too. Sucks. Or, så nackfårna utan höften. Häven bottnaveln. Up, up like Pinocchio. Up, 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 up. Now the only thing that goes back. Okay? Let's try that version. So your hands first by your hips. How do you want to feel? Amazing. I feel awesome. Yes. Awesome, man. Let's feel sehr cool. Okay, lean your low back forward. Low back forward. So you look like a duck. Then suck your belly up until your heart presses to the sky. Press your heart to the sky. Yes. Imagine a hand is underneath your upper back and pushing you to the sky. Oh, thank you. I feel so supported. Now, shoulders and sides of the body up until your belly starts to stretch. Literally, I would like you to feel a stretch in your abdomen from reaching up so tall. Can you feel it?
Yes.
Just your hands go back. If you have to, you take your hands wider and you'll have more space to go back. Good. Lean forward to come out of it. Lean forward to come out of it. Yes. Okay. Pause. Relax. When you come out of a deep position like that, if you take gravity out of the picture, watch for a second. You could suddenly activate your abdominals, which feels terrible for me. Maybe not for you. But because you're in such a strength-oriented position of the back body, if you activate the front body at the same time as the back body, it could compress the spine. But if you simply It's like you just lean forward, the gravitational pressure comes out of it. It feels nice. Probably. Bend your knees. Uttanasana. Take your arms in a cactus shape. Bend the elbows. Okay, imagine this the moment you've all been waiting for. Take your feet apart. As if your entire life was coming to this moment right now. Raise your hands. Isn't that so cool? This moment we've been building up towards our whole life to be in chair pose with our arms in cactus. Move your hips back. Yes. Pull your shoulders back. Now, reach your hands wide, but up and back. Hands wide, but up and back. Now, hip and down hands. Lift the heart. Lift. Walk the sides of the body up. Lift your belly up without losing the arch of the low back. So just keep your pelvis as it was. So lift your belly up. Stick your butt back. Good. Now, big celebration. Oh! Just me? Okay, fine. Come back. Lean forward. Okay. I'm glad you all joined me on that one. Thanks for leaving me alone. This guy's from America. Okay, so this posture is pretty much full wheel except for one major hip joint situation, okay? And gravity. So let's do it again. Let's imprint the position. If it feels bad here, it's not going to feel better on the ground. So what you want to do is explore here how to lift, how to lengthen, how to breathe in your heart, how to breathe in your upper thoracic spine area, okay? Bend your knees, feet wider than your hips. Stick your butt back a little bit just to form the shape. It doesn't have to be like, Beyonce's to the max, but just so you have an arch in your lower back. Now, pull your abdomen up like it's elastic. Imagine it's a rubber band. Yes. Then take your arms, shoulders up. Yes. And then climb in midsection until it feels like you're pressing the heart to the sky. Then reach your hands wide but back. Yes. With your breath, rise a little taller. That's it. Really nice. Good. Stand up by leaning forward and then coming up. Very good. How are we doing? Are we alive? Yeah. Okay. Come on to your knees, please. Knees, please. Knie bitte. Beide Knie. Okay. Tuck your toes. I'm sorry if you're a runner, but do your best. Tuck your toes. If this is so annoying on the soles of your feet, you could place blocks underneath your knees. It'll be easier on the soles of your feet. This is less dorsiflexion of the ankle. Okay. Then you're going to place your fingertips to your heels like this with your thumbs facing outward. Okay. Step 1, up. Step 2, back. Belly. Climb. Now, like you were reaching back in your hands, push down into your heels with your hands, and then press your low back forward, heart up to the sky. Climb. That's the climb. That's it. Beautiful. Rise from the inside. Rise from the inside, from the desire to feel good. Lift. And then stick your butt out and lean back until your butt is on your feet. And then come up and lean back so your butt is on your feet. That's it. There you go. Good. So same idea. When you come out of the pose, you're in this deep, deep extension of the spine. Hallelujah, right? And then you go, ugh. Just keep the spine and move your hips because your hips don't care so much. Your spine does. Your hips can handle that. No problem. You can come up, but you come up like this. Lean forward. Look, the spine stays. I'll show you that in a drop back. If I'm going to come up, I don't do an abdominal crunch. I don't round my back to come up. I move my hips forward and I stay in the back bend. Butt goes back, butt. And then I'm here. Right? If I got here and I did my abdominals, I would fall back. You can activate your abdominals, but not the way that most of you are doing it. Okay? So when you come out of this pose, just think here, butt back. Then when you have no gravitational pull, easy peasy. Hands to the... Before you even go into it, remember, I do want to feel good. And part of what this guy is telling me to do is lift my belly up, heart up, shoulders up, 1, back, 2, push down into your hands, press your heart to the sky. Yes, heart to the sky. Gorgeous. Come out of it for just a second, I got a tip for you. Do your feet wider, because your shoulders are pretty broad. So if you need to always do both, it's fine, but feet for sure, because you want your hands to be wider for your shoulder base. When you're done, you move your hips back and you sit, boom, like it's nothing ever happened. How's life?
Good.
Well, does anybody have a lot of pain right now? Anybody scared to say yes, I have pain? Call me over if you just don't want to announce it to the room, that's fine too. But you have an option to take it a step further, and that's kind of going to look like this. This pose here. So you're just ready for the photo, you're like, hey, how are you? I'm sorry, did you say something? So you see my arm here, it accommodates by externally rotating. Shoulder up, back. As I push, I rotate. And I look down right here. Hey. Ooh, that was nice. Hips back. Okay, some of you are, that's easy, so then you can go pointed feet, and you can whatever you want to do, okay? But with control. Okay. Either just camel pose, call me over if you have back pain. You're sensing you have something you want to say with it. Okay. Or if you want, just a little bit of a hey, how you doing? Hey. Yes. Push through your hands. Close. Come back down. Still hard in the center. Shoulder back. Push into your hands. Rib cage belly up. Lead. Yes, better. Better. Good. Come back. Hips back. All the way back down. Getting there. Much better. How do you feel better? Because right now, it's happening as you transition into the weight. Stepping in the body around it, it's better here. But you can still see from where you start off. That position, we try to hold. Okay. How's life? Cool. Those of you that like back bends said awesome. Okay, if you don't like back bends, how is that for you? Does anybody have any pain? Feels good? Indifferent?
Feels good.
Good? Okay. 3 people's not. Let's do one more pose and then we'll try and make some pose for you. Same idea. Up, back. Remember that last one when I was showing you how to rotate the arm? So you go to the beach. This is another very sexy pose, like the last one. So this is not the beach. This is like I'm chilling at the park. Why don't you go to the beach where you're like really like shoulder up in this case means your torso down because your hand is on the ground. You follow? So I have to get my shoulder up to my ear. Why? Because if your shoulder is down and you try to move it, it won't move. Because down is stable, up is mobile. You see the difference? So up, back, 3 now, rotate, and you see how that nudged my heart up. You follow that? Then the thing you've been working on. And all you gotta do, once you've got that sexy abdominal lift, is push down into your feet. Down into your feet. Hey, how you doing? Now, pushing down your feet requires that all of this stays here, here, and that you don't move this way because now I've got trouble and you'll just be using your arm. So watch me one more time and get the movement ready. You guys get to see the backside. Thanks, appreciate that. Okay, let's give it a shot. Sexy. On the right outer hip. Not there yet. Just go to a cactus shape like this, and then reach. Okay, so outer right hip, like you're at the beach. This is a very superficial beach where you want to look really good. You know, like really very, yes, we're at Venice Beach. Outer right hip. Stick your booty back. Lift your belly up, lift your heart up. Now, 1, 2, back, 3, rotate, heart up. Lift your belly down. Move a little weight into your feet as you rise up. Press down through your heels. Yes, push down into your feet and rise up. Your right foot is still on the outer edge where you're pushing down into it. Your left foot pushing down into it. You can turn it up. Yes, look at that beautiful heart shine. Come on down and bend your knees. Brilliant, and I'm stuck. Sorry. Go to the left side. This leg, the straightish leg, it's micro bent to start. The back leg, which is your right leg, turn the foot out. You'll have greater access to your glutes with your leg a little wider and turned out because your glute muscles extend the hip and they externally rotate at the hip. So if you turn your leg out, the right leg has more power to press down into the heel. The left leg is already turned out, so don't worry about that. Yes. Let's get into your anterior tilt. Lift the belly up, lift the heart up. Form your back bend, and now all you do is you manipulate the shoulder, do it, and then you just lift it all up by leaning into your feet, pressing into your feet, press down into your feet, use your hip muscles. Yes. How do you want to feel? Good. Yeah. Bend your right elbow a little bit, the upper arm, bend it like a cactus. Squeeze the shoulder blade on the back. Now look back behind you and reach wide then. That's good. Come on down. Sorry. All right, time for them. How do we do? Okay. Again, we'll go over more of this details in the training, but in the conference. If you're going to be there, great. Do we have enough wall space? Yeah. We have one more thing that we need to do basically before we go into Urdhva. Maybe just come over here with me. Look at these beautiful lights. FYI, if I were trying to put together the most badass sequence, I would probably have stopped at that pose and broke it down again, showed you the same actions in my shoulders, showed you the lift of the abdomen and how to use the butt. But we talked a lot about Urdhva, so I want to give you that. Okay. But come closer. So I'm going to introduce a little bit of something slightly different. Come closer. Which has not necessarily been layered in this class. Okay, so it might be hard to get close, like really close. Oh, actually, I can borrow you. What's your name? Elisa. Did you take your arm with me? Just one. Hold my hand. Okay. I'm going to do something first. I want you to feel it through your body, what I'm doing, and watch my arm. Okay, ready? Now, push my arm back that way until my hand goes all the way back. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, all the way, go. Walk, walk, walk. Very good, okay. Now, let me do this again. Something different. Now push. Am I putting effort into this? No, it's my bones that are stopping me from moving. And all it is the placement of the glenohumeral joint with the scapula. So you're going to do it now. First, push into me like this. Good. That's called shoulder impingement. If I push into her, it's going to irritate the shoulder. Can you feel that little bit of irritation? Good. Now, let's not do that. Up, mobility, back, good. Do you see this little muscle that activated here? This is the latissimus dorsi trying to pull her arm this way, except she's saying, hands, stay where you are. Instead, you get a hard armpit. Now, can you move your armpit up and back more? Good. Okay, there's, you see where that started to pop out again? Pull this back again, back. Pushing my hand again, pushing my hand. Now up and back. Yes. Nope. Okay, right there's where we lose it. Up and back. Good. As I start to push, move your armpit back more. Yes. 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 Good. Feel okay?
Yeah.
Great. Do you feel like you were in pain?
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the idea here is we can arrange our shoulders in a way that gives us the maximum amount of mobility. Why? Because in Urdhva, what most people feel is pain in the low back or shoulders. And here's why. When you go up, my shoulders tend to go forward, you see this? And down, because I'm trying to get the heel of the hand to the ground. So, let's try it again. It looks like this. Watch my shoulder goes forward and down. And when it does that, forward and down, and then I go up, now the pressure goes right into the low back. It's so fun. So then I start tucking my tail. I use my abdominals. Oh, yeah, that's good. Feel it. Okay. Instead of rearranging the scapula and just using, hey buddy. Okay, so if you have 2 points, hands and feet, and one of those points can move, so it pushes into the other point. And wherever that pressure ends up, which is usually in the low back, because it's the center of the pose, and that's where you're going to feel it. It's not because your pelvis is tucked or untucked or you don't have a stable spine. It's just because that's where you're putting the pressure. It's as simple as that. It's like a joint in a house. You have a joint where 2 pieces of wood meet, and that joint is taking all the force. Eventually, it will deteriorate. It might take a lot of snow on the roof or whatever it is, and a lot of time, but it will deteriorate because there's always pressure at that joint. That's why when you build a house, I don't build houses, but when they build houses, they calculate how much pressure is at each joint, and they build it accordingly and say, well, we need to have stability here, we need to have this thing here, the brace is this, so that the load is over here, the load is over here, blah, 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 blah. I don't understand it so much, but what I do understand is wherever there is pressure, you will feel it. So you have to disperse the pressure from the one point through the whole thing like you would a house. That's why you have several joints at the peak of a house, right? So.
Question?
Yeah.
Do I have to arrange my shoulders when I'm lifted up, or can
It's a
I
great
do it
question.
while I'm getting it?
You could, there's several ways to do it. The way I'm going to suggest is first, we have to arrange our shoulders not in full wheel. Then you have to figure out how to do it in full wheel. I'll show you the way that I do it in full wheel. This is the way I learned it a long time ago. Long, long time ago, I can see. You get into bridge, and then you get into bridge with head on the ground. And then you have freedom to move your shoulders. You move your chest through, and then you push, and you're already there. Look, you see how that one popped out a little bit? So I move it back. Look how wide my hands are. The wider they are, the less chance for impingement because of that shelf that I talked about. Of course, you can't be so wide that you can't have power, so you have to figure out a point in which here's a lot less likely to impinge the shoulder than here. Doesn't mean you can't do it here, it's just harder, more advanced. Here's the action. Can you take one hand, pick your hand up? I like your, at a rap concert, your hand goes forward slightly and your armpit sucks back. Cool, let's do it with somebody, because that was confusing, wasn't it? So I'm going to do it first, and then you're going to do it. Watch my armpit. Oh, yes, now you got it. A little bend in the elbow is okay, but not too much. Do it with a friend. It's okay, you can touch someone's hand. This is better. Armpit up. Start one. Armpit up. Try it. I'll give you 3 areas of the body. Shoulders, hips, abdominals. What are your hips going to do? What would I say for your, what muscles do we turn on? Good. What would I say? From what to what? How would I say it? From your buttocks, press down into your heels until your hips rise up. Okay, that's what the hips are going to do. So your butt engages, your hips rise. What's the abdominals going to do? Transverse abdominals, and you're going to use, I didn't educate you on this because it's confusing. You're using both sides of your obliques and your back muscles and your QL, a lot of muscles, to contradict each other until you feel like you're actually lifting. Okay? When you feel an abdominal stretch, your glute muscles engaging, what's the other thing you're going to do with your shoulders now? Armpits back. So up, back. That's pretty much it. Now, when you go up, I'll give you a quick tidbit. Instead of trying to get the heel of the hand to the ground and your elbows in, relax your elbows slightly out. Forget about the heel of the hand. Get into your back bend. Transverse. Rise up to here. Press your shoulders into the ground. So that's back when you're on the ground. If you are okay with being on your neck, please do this. It's the easiest way to go about it. Elbows a little wide, armpits back. You see it? Back, 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 back. And then move your weight into your hands. So you see how I moved? That's my quadriceps. Into my hands. And then hallelujah. Woo! Option to just stay in bridge pose. But if you're in bridge, you're activating your glutes and your abdominals, transverse abdominals. How do you want to feel? Right. Feet are outward hip width. Yes. If your shoulders feel strange, bend your elbows and rock towards your heart. Move your heart through your shoulders, then push up. Move your heart through your shoulders, towards the back of your room. Bend your elbows a little bit. Now move your heart to the back of your room. Your elbows bent. This way. Use your quads. Push into your feet. Yes. There you are. Keep rocking that way. Towards your, yes. Put the weight to the heel of your hand. Towards the back of your room. That's it. Okay, take a break. Take a break. Very nice. Use your quads by pushing down into your heels and then push the mat towards the front of the room. Okay, so check it out. If you want to go less pressure in your low back, first of all, hands a little wider makes it more accessible. Keeping your elbows bent and moving your weight towards the back of the room. That's how you would do it. Lean into your heart. Keep your elbows slightly bent. Move to the back of the room. Can you explain what you have? Use both heels. Okay, so real quick, you have. You take your free bladder. Yeah, press down. Yeah. Okay, so there are a million things we could micro adjust, change, tons of muscles to activate to make this feel better, shift it. These are basically 3 areas that are highly, highly important in Urdhva hips, spine, well, I guess in life, hips, spine, shoulders. This is why Urdhva is such a hard pose, because it's not just like, oh, you only really have to get good at one thing and you're good. Really, Urdhva would, at some point it's called Chakrasana, meaning opening of all the chakras, meaning it addresses the entire system in some ways. So it's not, it's done often in most yoga classes. It's common, but that doesn't mean that it should be easy for you or for any of us. It just means that it's done, that's all. It's familiar. I would argue that it's way harder than handstands, but full wheel is just way more familiar. So give yourself the time and space to explore each area of the body. Full flexibility and strength. The question is, I'll give you one more chance to do either full wheel or any of the back bends we've done for that matter, or if you want to try both of those. If you have something else you want to do, that's cool. But with the intention to feel good. So I would like you to leave your back bending practice on a note that's like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Or if you love back bends already, wow, that was great. I want you to leave your back bending practice on a high note so that you develop a pattern for the next time. I got to a place that was feeling pretty good. Okay? So that you don't have to always be like, God, how do I want to feel? You might be like, at some point, I like back bends. Okay, so ask yourself how you want to feel. And approach any back bend of your choice. Be simple, be complex. It's just one more. Sure, you can just do back So, I'd love for you to come into pigeon pose on the right side, pigeon pose on the right side. So before you go forward fold, just a quick question. So what I've been doing this class is another form of layering, and the layering is of a theme. The theme, what we call in chromatic yoga, a thematic through line, is a word, phrase, or statement that continues throughout an entire class. What is my thematic through line? Good. How do you want to feel? So this is a thematic through line. The same way you could layer muscle engagement through an entire class. Activate your glutes, or lift your abdomen, or whatever it is. Over and over again. You can have a theme, because nobody gets the theme the first time you say it. Nobody understands, okay, class, today we're going to let go, and then you just leave away, and then you expect the rest of the class understands what that means, right? There has to be a context, a story, something that people resonate with, and then repetition. So we get it drilled into our minds, into our bodies that we want to feel good. And as we want to feel good, and it starts to play out in our physical practice, then what happens when you go home and you get into a little bit of an argument and you go, how do I want to feel? How do I want to act? How do I want my friends to feel? How do I want my parents to feel, my children? Okay, bow forward and go. Eventually, how do I want that person that I hate to feel? Starts with an intention, with a desire inside of us. But patterns are created through repetition. Walk the hands back. Coming down, down. Place the left shin across the mat, pigeon pose. While I have you upright for a moment, take a breath. How do you want to feel? Good. So, just so you know, I've videoed this and audioed that. So I'll put that on a private web page for those of you that want it. We'll talk about that in a minute. For now, bow forward and pigeon pose. It will be free. If you have videos that you took of demonstrations or of any of this that you want to share with me to put on that free page for you, please don't leave right away and share them with me first. In this way, we all have the opportunity to revisit the experience as we let it settle into our mind, into our bodies. Because no matter how many times we repeat anything, it takes a long time for information to turn from knowledge to wisdom. That is, till it becomes ours. It becomes something that is our normal. Hands back. And the downward facing dog. Shift forward in the plank pose. Lower all the way to the ground. Roll onto your back. If you need anything like a happy baby or a twist or anything like that, or you want to take a different variation of Shavasana, please feel free. This time to observe the sensations of your body. Watch the breath move in and out of the nose, the belly, the heart. Watch your body as it lives. Sitaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman.
Maybe there is a God above, but all I ever desire inside of us that we all long to feel good, acknowledging that we will always have times where we don't. We'll always have times where we're sad, angry, mad, stressed. But these are just like muscles, parts of life. All muscles are required for the body to move. All emotions are required for us to be alive. All we're doing in this practice is reminding ourselves of the intention of how we want to feel, so that we're not excessively going into any areas that are unnecessary. So that we remember that we have the capacity to feel good from our intention to our actions. Join me if you like. Place the hands together at the heart center. Take a breath in. Observe how you feel. Thank you all so very much. Namaste. Wonderful. Yeah, thank you all so much. So just a quick couple of things.